Hello, hello. Today we will speak about the insight number 3, which John Hewitt will share with us from his 12 principles of success. And we will speak today about the best for you. What is the best for you? Hi, John.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great to see you. And thank you so much for being guest on our podcast.
My pleasure.
So let's speak about this topic. What is the best for you? And I would like to know your perception about this.
Yeah, let me give you a couple examples of what that topic means. First example is, I've brought in over 5,000 franchisees, 5,300, and oftentimes, and it's interesting how most people will resist an opportunity for their own staff to move up. So, for example, the majority of the franchisees have been reluctant to let us as a franchisor have the email addresses of their employees because they're not afraid that we're going to steal them and make them employees because they have non-competes, but they're concerned that they may become franchisees. We may sell them a franchise, and they may leave their employment. So when you think about it, that they're changing people's lives, right? They have a great employee, and they're selfishly want them to stay as their employee rather than doing what's right for them and helping them be all they can be. And the benefit is, life is about improving lives around you, not about doing always what's doing best for yourself. And part of that lesson is I've learned over the years that the more I give, the more I receive. And so when you do what's right for someone and it's not right for yourself, then it's a good thing that you will be rewarded, and it's never, almost never rewarded by the person you do it for. Something else good happens to you, and God works in surprising ways. So always have to be on a lookout to do to be considerate and offer those opportunities to your franchisees. In my philosophy is that as an employer, and this goes against common poor treatment of managers and leaders. Most managers I've found do what's best for themselves, and I found that they have to make me happy, but I have to make them happy. And that's why the name of my company is Loyalty Brands. I have 20 people that have been with me for 20 years or more. And we're only a 5-year-old company. So it's incredibly important to consider and always be thinking of that other person. And if you see opportunities to move them, and I've done that in my career quite extensively. I moved people from one department to another department, from one job to another job, where I see that their skills are better suited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. You had such a great experience and became so successful with your companies that it is a lot to learn from you. So let's speak about what you mentioned in the beginning, that people made the opportunities and they didn't step in. What do you think is the reason that they didn't choose that opportunity and stayed where they felt more comfortable?
I'm not one that can identify with that because that's not the way that I feel. But I will say this, that one of our principles is to improve. And at at Jackson Hewitt, our mission statement was set the standard, improve each day, and have some fun. And at one point, I came up with an epiphany, and I thought to myself, well, let me just, in the annual review, let me ask each of my direct reports. And I had about 8 or 10 direct reports back 20 years or 25 years ago. And I said, well, how did you improve this year? And I was amazed, a little amazed, only a little amazed, that not one of them had any improvement. That not one, they said silly things like, I read 4 books, or I worked out I mean, they had little to offer. And so there's a very, people resist change. And there's 3 certainties in life: death, tax, and change. And people resist change, but they really don't resist change as much. The reason they resist change is they resist the pain of change. And if you're going to be extraordinary, I've learned you have to be uncomfortable. You can't have a comfortable greatness. If you are going to achieve exceptional performance, you're going to exceed others' expectations. If you're going to be a trendsetter, you have to be uncomfortable. And most people don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yes, I like this quote, which says that what you don't change, you choose. Yes,
Precisely.
yes. So what you don't change, you choose. It means that you are the cause of everything. You are the cause, and there are effects, and your situation is an effect. And if you don't change it, it means that you choose the situation to continue, right? And what
Right.
you said, yeah.
Well, one of my favorite sayings in the whole world is, if you did what you always did, you get what you always got. And Einstein said, doing this, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Mhm. Yes, this is also one of my favorite quotes, actually two, which you just mentioned. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, so uh, if we speak about the what is the best for people, yes, so most of people automatically will think that their best is to be certain. Their best is to be safe. Their best is to be comfortable. But when we look at the success principles and what we just discussed now, it is totally opposite. Yes, like your best is to move every day, to go into uncertainty. Because if the priority is to be certain, to have stability, it means that you will never grow, because every growth will need from you to be uncertain, right? Because you never know what will be in future. And if you just doing what you know, it means that you don't grow and there will be no change.
With the recent to do about AI, there's so much discussion about the future of computers and computerization and robots. So isn't the simple definition between a robot and a human being? The robot can't, I mean, they do the same thing robotically over and over again, right? And human beings get to think outside the box and to improve and do things differently. And I guess they're trying to replicate that with AI. But the ability to change and improve is a human nature. And you can, I challenge people, do you want to be a robot, or do you want to be a free thinking, extraordinary performer in your life? And God didn't put you here to be ordinary.
Yes. And it is the way how to be yourself and really tap into your potential is to question your programs. Yes, questions those limiting beliefs and your status quo. Because this is only the way how you can be different every day, yes, and open for yourself new opportunities and explore the uh, potential which is given to you, because people see the world not as the world is. They only see the world from the prism of their paradigms, from the prism of their consciousness awareness. And if we really want to raise standards, as you said, and live the life to be our best version of yourself, the only way is to question those programs, how we were literally programmed when we were small. And interesting that most of the people live with those thought patterns and those limiting beliefs all their life, with those programs which were built with them when they were just small kids, like maybe in infants or 3, 4, 5 years old. And that package they carry with themselves all their life. And it is really it is really so I would say ridiculous that we have phones and we update the phones. We always see that phones, computers always update, yes, and people want to buy new more mobile phones. Nobody wants to use Sony Ericsson like white and black screen, which we were happy to use 20 years ago. But when when it comes to updating of your mindset, of that set of the program which control your habitual behavior, and most of our behavior is habitual, people don't really are not aware of that set which they carry with themselves, and this is what controls their choices, what controls the way how they make decisions. It controls their habitual behavior. It means that most of things which they do every day is just on autopilot. It is just controlled by those patterns.
I love that analogy. I never heard that before. But think about that. Your phone and your phone and your computers and the software is updated regularly, right? Virtually every year or more often. And when was the last time most human beings upgraded themselves? And I mean, it's been for most people, it's been forever or decades or many years. And we should be on a constant seeking of improvement.
Yes, constant seeking of our best selves, because we have such a huge potential. And I like another quote that is said that God's gift to us is those talents and gifts which we can never even use in full potential during our life. And our gift to God is to use those talents and gifts, yeah, which were given to us. And so many people live the life which is not their life. They live life according to the standards and those programs which other people put for them. And these people had no idea about their potential and what really that unique talents and gifts and what their genius is about. And if they're not raising their awareness, they just like in hypnotic state. And I like, as Napoleon Hill in his book Outwitting the Devil, he described it so good that most of people live in hypnotic state. And to really grow and unleash potential, you have to wake up, because you cannot grow if you are sleeping.
And a hypnotic state is very robotic. So I get that, and that is so sad. And that's why one of my favorite philosophies is thank God it's Monday. You know, if you're going to work on Monday morning and you're not looking forward to it, which 70% of Americans do not look forward to their job. They are oppressed and they do not look forward to their job. If you're not looking forward to your job, you're going to the wrong place. Life is too short. If you're not living a life that thank God it's Monday, then you need to rethink and really restart your life and start moving in a better, different direction.
Yes, because what is the best for you is to know where your genius is, what is your strength. And to know what is really something that you love to do. What are your unique talents and gifts? And just think about this, that you are unique. There is no one in the world which have the same fingerprint, or so many, we cannot even say how many snowflakes are there, and there is no even one like each other. So if people just think from this perception that they are unique, they are the highest creature on this planet, yes, that is given unique talents and gifts, and everyone can be only one unique and bring this potential and those talents and gifts to the surface, and really wake up every day, every morning, excited about the day and what he can do, like doing something that he really loves, that he has passion, and having this feelings that I'm so happy and grateful that I do what I love and I love what I do. Yes, and this is such a big achievement. I think this is one of the components of first of success, and also the components of fulfillment. Because people cannot be happy and successful if he doesn't feel fulfilled, and he cannot feel fulfilled if he doesn't do what he really loves and what he has those passion about and all these talents and gifts to grow and create something new. Yes, something that makes the existing model obsolete.
I think one of the major reasons why people don't change and improve and take chances is, again, they're afraid of feeling uncomfortable, but they're afraid of taking a risk for failing. And that's why it's very common knowledge that the people that are the most successful have made the most mistakes. But the biggest mistake of all, that the phrase that I've heard, the biggest mistake at all is not taking the risk, any risk. That's riskier than taking some risk, is not doing anything. That's the big, and that's why my favorite story in the Bible is the talent story. We each have our different talents, and we're different skills and different abilities and opportunities, and we each have to seek out our level or our area of where we can be, as you pointed out, the best that we can be.
Yes, because everyone is so unique, and if they just believe that everything is possible. Yes, I think that another rule of these success principles is to understand that reality doesn't exist outside of your mind. Yes, that reality is simulation of what is going inside of us, and this is just reflection of those thoughts, ideas, because when we look about the spiritual part of ourselves, yes, the spiritual part is always want to go to be expressed and to growth. And what suppresses this is those limiting beliefs which we got from this society, because every child, when it is his or she is born, has no limitations. Yes, they just decide what they want. They see themselves in the dreams that they are pilot, and they already can imagine how they're pilot, how they fly, and they run around the house, and they're already pilots. Yes, in their imagination, or anything else, they just can imagine and feel. And if they want something, they will just ask for that. Yes, I want this, give me this. They don't understand no till parents will teach them, yes, to understand what means no. But initially we see that people are born with such a big potential, and all these viruses which we got during the time when we were growing up, these viruses, they just don't let this our perfection to go out and shine. So, what is the best for you again in the concept of this topic is to study yourself and find out those limiting beliefs. What is your inner conversation every day? What you believe you that you cannot do, and remove not from that. You just start thinking about yourself that everything in your reality, you created. You created this reality by the way how you thought, how you felt, and of course these two, thinking and feeling, cause certain action, and then you got the reaction, right? And this is how you created your circumstances. So if you really believe that you are here for more and you can do more, you can have more, this is the first thing to start questioning your ideas, beliefs, and find the better beliefs. Yes, and you can borrow those beliefs from successful people, because everything starts from within. When you start looking for yourself and become aware of those limiting thoughts which you have, and they are the same thoughts every day, and when you become aware of them, and then when you can replace them with the empowering thoughts, this is how the change starts to happen.
You know, you pointed out that as a child, you think you can do anything. And then about the time you turn 7, 8, 9 years old, then everyone beats it out of you. Your your own parents, your friends, your enemies, your teachers. No, you can't be the president of the United States. You can't be Superman. You can't be Batman. You can't be a pilot. You can't. I mean, and so human beings are beaten down by society. And I seen that everyone tries to keep you in a box and part of the herd. They don't like it when you do something that's not part of the herd. They try to pull you back. They try to bring you back to normality. So yeah, you have to resist that. You have to think outside the box and not limit your thinking by other people putting you down and holding you back. And my favorite 10 two-letter words are, if it is to be, it is up to me. And everyone in your life will virtually everyone will try to slow you down and have you fit in their mold of what you should be rather than in your own unique thinking.
Yes, yes, exactly. There are paradigms which controls people behavior, and these paradigms come from family. So there are family paradigms, there are society paradigms, and also there is personal paradigms, which is like mix of different. Yes, so these paradigms are very, very strong, because this is the way how they were impressed into our subconscious mind through repetition. They were repeated so many times that it became like a very firm highway, yeah, with those beton, very thick layer. And you cannot just put a seed of new idea and it will grow easy, yeah, because this road is so firm. That's why automatically that habitual patterns, they will win till the time when you get conscious consideration, when you learn how to when you learn subjective control, how to put your intention subjectively to things which you want to do in life, which you want to achieve. And when you find that big goal in your life, that big purpose, and when you become obsessed with that idea, that you will start holding it in your mind to the exclusion of everything else. And then the change will start to happen. Because if you just think that, oh, this would be good to do, but you are not obsessed with that idea, you just think it is like, or like, I hope or I wish it would be mine, it will never happen, because it will always stay just in fantasy. But every fantasy you can turn into your reality by doing certain things in the certain way.
Certainly, you can't be extraordinary and accomplish great things unless you're fanatical, obsessed, a driven person. And so, if you want to be all you can be, if you want to be fantastic, then you have to be mentally all in. The one of my sayings that's very common is skin in the game. And when they say skin in the game, other people think that means cash investment. But to me, it means no, cash is not the key. The key is your mind is all in. Because someone that has $25,000 that invests $25,000 is that's significant. But if you have $5 million and you invest $25,000, you have no skin in the game. That's meaningless. So skin in the game to me means all in.
Yeah.
And now that poker has risen so to be so popular, everyone gets the phrase all in.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, it is not about money. And also on the contrary, like if you want something and you even don't have money, but you really want it, and you think about this and you feel that from the end as you already have that, and you know why you want this and how your life will, how you will serve the world, like what is your why, right? Like, it should be really big why. And if you get to that frequency and if you make decision, doesn't matter that you don't have maybe anything. Yes, like in Think and Grow Rich, yes, when we read about the introduction about the Barnes, like he decided to be a companion of Edison, and he had nothing that even could, like, he could give him that idea that it is possible. He even couldn't afford to buy a ticket to go and meet Edison, so he went there as a suitcase in the freight compartment. Yes, jumped there at last moment. So it is not about money. It is about your desire. Yes, and this is first chapter in Think and Grow Rich. It is about desire, that everything starts to change when you really understand who you are, when you understand what is your strength, what is your potential, that you are spiritual being in the physical body, and you understand that your mind is the workshop where you create your reality. And when you understand that there are no limitations, all limitations, this is only what you create in your mind. And when you understand that the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, it means that what you create in your mind, you generate that energy in invisible world. And according to this law, this must take physical form. Everything what is created, it initially was created in the mind. And when you understand that you are the creator of your life, and if you just learn how to use your mind and how to use your subjective control and put attention to that one idea which you become obsessed about, you will find money, you will find people, everything will be drawn to you, because you will become the magnet and you will start attract everything what is needed. But you have to be committed, 100% committed, and you should act now. Like you act with what you have, what you can do at this very moment, and you don't need to know what will be the second step. This is, it should be that high level of commitment and irrevocable committed decision.
Love it that you mentioned Napoleon Hill twice. Two of his different books, or quoted two of his books. It's funny, he wrote those 100 years ago, and they're still valid today. And there's great authors from Peter Drucker is from 60 years ago. Dale Carnegie is from 80, 100 years ago. So the values and the principles you're talking about aren't new, right? They aren't new, but they're just that we need to repeat them to remind people to again be all that they can be.
Yes, that's why to finalize our episode, we just want to share that the best for you is to learn the laws. Yes, learn the principles, because everything comes from awareness. When you learn about yourself, who you really are, what potential you have, and when you learn about the laws, Napoleon Hill spoke about the secret in his 13 chapters. So those secrets and the laws which all universe is built according to these laws, and we are the part of the universe. So there are always the laws how we can think, feel, and act to become successful. So this is the key, and this is what is the best for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Thank you so much, John. It was another amazing conversation, and I really enjoyed. And I appreciate you for being amazing guest on our podcast, and looking forward for our next episode.
Thank you. Me too. My pleasure.